I respect you for what you have done in the game.
Cheetos.
But you ain't never went up against me or my staff.
That's the only thing been high.
So you remember something.
Tell me what I got to do.
We've been here before.
So
you trying to get there.
Butt beat his ass.
How though? How does that look?
Outbox his ass. Just outboxing this shit.
What about the weight though?
It don't matter. Bud been fighting big people all day fucking life.
Is a pretty intelligent guy. He might not try to talk, and say different things that jump off the page at you, but he's not a stupid guy, man. He's intelligent.
Crowds got loud when Terence Crawford's coach, Brian Bomac McIntyre, grabbed the mic and fired a strong warning at Canelo. He said people should stop talking about size and weight because Crawford has been fighting bigger guys for years and beating them. With steady confidence, Bomac made it clear that Canelo should be worried. In his eyes, it's not about who weighs more. It's about skill, focus, and heart. And that's where Crawford will take over once the bell rings.
Match up with Canelo.
Bud beat his ass.
How though? How does that look?
Outbox his ass. Just outboxing this shit.
What about the weight though?
It don't matter. Bud been fighting big people all day fucking life.
Yeah.
What about the head movement, Bomac? Canelo's feigned head movement.
That's what I'm there for. That's what Saul there for. That's what Red there for. You know what I'm saying? It's called coaches.
Yeah.
So we can get past that shit.
Whenever Brian Bomac McIntyre talks about Terence Crawford's chances, he speaks like a man who has no doubt. To him, this fight isn't just another night. It's the moment to prove Crawford is the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Bomac points out that Crawford never stops working in the gym, always preparing with full focus, leaving no space for excuses. He believes that discipline and hard work are what make champions, and Crawford shows both at the highest level. For Bomac, it's bigger than winning. It's about making history in front of the world.
Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford. How excited are you? Obviously, you've seen this journey with Terence, you've seen the doubters over the years, and he's now on the biggest stage again with people questioning him. And you obviously have full confidence that he's going to come out and get victory on September 30th.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely confident that he's going to get the victory. Second of all, I'm just happy for him and the team. So, the world can see once again why he considered the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
There was many a time where he was maybe struggling to get certain fights, and then he had to almost kick that door down. Is it nice to see him sort of getting the fruits of his labour now and getting that generational wealth off the back of what is, obviously it's a hard career boxing, you don't get given anything.
Definitely that. Definitely good to see him get, like you say, fruits of his wealth. Get me fights that, again, will show the world why he's the best fighter in the world. Show the world why he's the best fighter in the world. I'm just happy for him, man.
Rumors about Canelo Alvarez struggling in sparring with Jaron Boots. Ennis sparked big talks in the boxing world. Fans often compare Ennis to Terence Crawford because both move fast, counter sharp, and defend with slick skills. If Canelo found it tough against someone with a similar style during sparring, many wonder how much harder it will be under real fight lights with Crawford. Of course, sparring isn't the same as a championship night, but patterns do matter. For Crawford supporters, this story adds even more belief that he has the right tools to expose Canelo's weaknesses when it counts most.
When we saw that he's in camp with him, right? And so people are saying now that they reached out to me and they're saying, well, Floyd Mayweather now has joined Terence Crawford's camp. Does that mean Floyd Mayweather doesn't like Jaron Boots Ennis? Floyd Mayweather went to Terence Crawford camp to give Terence Crawford advice on Canelo Alvarez. Well, one, Terence Crawford is not fighting Jaron Boots Ennis. That's number one. Number two, it's not shots at Jaron Boots Ennis if Floyd Mayweather was to go to Terence Crawford camp. Number three, I saw this clip that Fight Hype had put out, and it's an old clip of Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford at Shakur Stevenson's sparring session in Las Vegas. Shakur had called them all to be at that sparring session, okay? And Floyd Mayweather assisted. Now, Floyd Mayweather took on Canelo Alvarez September 14th of 2013. That was 12 years ago, okay? And so with that said, this one has nothing to do with the other. Floyd Mayweather, from what I'm being told from Terence Crawford's camp, that he has not went up to Colorado and helped Terence Crawford do anything. Okay.
When asked about the sparring stories, Bomac wasted no time shutting down the talk. He admitted that Boots Ennis is a strong fighter, but stressed that Crawford is on a completely different level. In his view, no sparring partner can copy what Crawford truly brings into the ring. He explained that Crawford's mix of experience, quick adjustments, and sharp thinking under pressure makes him unique. That's why Bomac believes comparing Ennis to Crawford misses the whole point. For him, the upcoming fight will prove that Crawford is not just about speed or movement, but about using his brain when it matters most. His response showed pure confidence that Crawford's style can't be copied and will shine brightest when the real fight begins.
You saw him sparring with Boots. Give me your initial response to that.
That don't mean shit, man. That don't mean shit. That don't mean nothing, man. Boots ain't no Crawford.
That's right.
So, hey, like I said, that don't mean, all that shit don't mean nothing. That shit they ain't gonna help him. He should have just got the last cab driver he just fought. Cause that shit ain't gonna, that don't mean nothing, man. All that shit don't mean nothing. You ain't no Bud Crawford. They don't have that mentality. Having that mentality and going upside your head at the same motherfucking time, shit, man. I don't give a fuck about all that shit at all.
Boxing analyst Adi Oladipo shared his doubts about Crawford putting on extra weight before facing Canelo. He explained that fights aren't won by size alone, but by finding the right mix of skill and power. If Crawford adds too much weight too fast, it could slow him down or change the smooth rhythm he's known for. Oladipo warned that Crawford's speed and fluid style are his biggest weapons, and changing his body too much could take away what makes him so dangerous. Even though fans admire Crawford for moving up in weight to take this challenge, Oladipo reminded everyone that it comes with risks. His view shows that preparing for a fight this big isn't simple. Sometimes even hard work can create new problems if not balanced carefully.
Wiry. Crawford was the guy at 135 pounds that looked really skinny. Even at 140, go and watch his fights against, who's the one that made, I'm trying to think of his name now. The fight at 140, Julius Ndongo.
Oh, yeah.
And where he's just skinny, he's like wiry. He's very much Tommy Hearns. Now.
Oh, have you seen him? He's
now
massive.
He's jacked.
Man, he looks like huge. He's got to be north of 170.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Yeah. There's a part of me that's like, dude, you don't need to be that big. Like, I don't think this is a strength for strength thing. I think this is a skill and speed thing. I don't know. I feel like if you're trying to sit on your punches to hurt Canelo, nobody hurts Canelo.
He's been hit by Callum Smith, Sergey Kovalev, Bivol.
Yeah.
Crawford ain't hurting him.
Golovkin.
And Golovkin. Crawford ain't hurting him.
But Crawford knocks everyone out. Who is Canelo Alvarez now?
That's a good question.
Yeah, like who are we watching now? Because when I go back and watch the guy that fought Skull, everyone likes to dig out Skull. Sorry, one second. Canelo's got to do more. Canelo's output was the worst output I've ever seen of a unified champion.
Yeah,
I'm not joking, the worst.
That fight.
Yeah.
He literally did. But my kind of thinking is all right, well, who is Canelo now? Well, in the nicest way, although he's been fighting good fighters, when's the last time he had a super fight?
Who?
Canelo. And that's when we see the real Canelo, when he has a super fight.
Okay.
Trainer Breadman Edwards gave a calmer take on the whole situation. He explained that Crawford knows Jaron Ennis sparred with Canelo and understands that Ennis is a powerful fighter. But instead of letting that shake him, Crawford uses it as part of his preparation. Edwards said Crawford's confidence doesn't get touched by outside noise like sparring talk. For him, the only thing that matters is the real fight and his ability to adjust when it counts. In fact, knowing Canelo worked with Ennis might even help because it pushes Crawford's camp to prepare for that style. Edwards made it clear that Crawford is built for this. His strong mindset means he doesn't get distracted, only sharper.
That's why I said I'm not changing my percentage. It can make Canelo go up. It can make him lose his confidence or take a piece from him. And it can make Crawford say, okay, let me tell you something about Crawford, man. I watch Crawford. I will watch how he evolved throughout the years. I've been watching him. Me, Red, and Bomac been cool since way before Crawford hit the mainstream. Way before he hit the mainstream. Crawford is a pretty intelligent guy. He know Boots is the real deal. Crawford's little brother is Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson and Boots is super cool, and Shakur Stevenson was in the amateurs with Boots. Don't you think Shakur told Bud, like, yo, bro, I love you. You my big bro, but that kid nice, bro. You gonna have to be on your game to fuck with him. You don't think Shakur told Crawford that, and you don't think he respected his opinion? You don't think that Red and Bomac got eyes and they know Boots is special? You don't believe that? I don't care about all this talk on the internet because they may fight. So you can't be too complimentary of a guy that you may fight. But you don't think they know that? So by him bringing Boots in, that's probably going to take Bud to another level mentally. And that's where I think that Bud win this fight. I think he got a mental edge.
Many fans and experts keep pointing to one thing. They believe Canelo's size is simply too much for Crawford to deal with. They argue that Canelo is strong at the higher weights, while Crawford started his career much smaller at lightweight. For Canelo's backers, the question is whether Crawford can really take the power of a naturally bigger man. The debate comes down to size versus skill. Doubters say that no matter how sharp Crawford is, physics eventually wins, and Canelo's heavy punches might be more than he can handle. To them, this fight isn't about talent alone. It's about whether Crawford can survive against raw strength at a level he's never faced before.
Canelo versus Crawford. Who you got?
I got Canelo winning. I think Canelo's gonna knock him out. But
I think Canelo's gonna hurt him.
I think he's just too powerful, man, too strong. I hope Terence Crawford does well and stuff, man, because I love the way he fights, and he's a hell of a fighter, and I respect him as well, too. So I hope he puts up a good fight and everything. But at the end of the day, man, Canelo, if he catches you, dude, it's gonna knock you out.
Look, at the end of the day, I always say this. He took Golovkin's biggest hit, and he took Bivol' biggest hit. I don't think Crawford could knock him out.
I think Terence Crawford can knock Canelo out if he catches him, because with Gennady Golovkin hit harder, but he was a lot slower.
Yeah.
So when Canelo's seen the punches coming, he's able to embrace. I think if Terence Crawford catches Canelo with a shot that he doesn't see coming, boom, then he could hurt him.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Another big point people raise is Canelo's huge experience at the very top of the sport. He has fought almost every kind of style, slick movers, hard punchers, defensive masters, you name it, he's faced it. His career is packed with championship rounds under the brightest lights, and that gives him a calmness in big moments that's hard to teach. Experience often decides how a fighter reacts when things get tough, and Canelo has proved many times that he doesn't crack under pressure. Fans who back Alvarez believe that this long history, mixed with his natural power, makes him a different kind of test altogether. The feeling is that while skills matter, the knowledge of how to win on the biggest stage could give Canelo a major edge against Crawford.
Things about like being in camp with Canelo, it's just different. He's got speed, he's got velocity, he's got precision, he's got positioning, he's got power, and he's got just an incredible amount of experience. I think there's 10 fights that haven't been added to his record. So, and Bud, when Bud was fighting at 130 or 35, Canelo already was at 54. So there's definitely weight classes for a reason.
Some voices in boxing admit they feel torn about this matchup. On one side, they respect Crawford for daring to chase greatness, but on the other, they wonder if Canelo is the right opponent to test that legacy. The worry isn't about Crawford's talent, it's about whether the size gap could make things look unfair, drowning out his true skills. Some say Crawford could have chosen different paths to prove he belongs among the all-time greats, without moving up to face someone so much bigger. Still, even critics recognize that this fight brings Crawford unmatched attention and financial reward, making it both a risk and an opportunity.
Another good segue. Let's talk about the real deal, though. Ryan, questionable fighter. Some people always question certain things. That boy Canelo, that boy Crawford. Nobody questioning those two. How you feel about that fight coming up?
I'm questioning it. I'm not a fan of it.
Oh, what?
Big man, little man. I wish Crawford had some other opportunities to really solidify his greatness in a different way. Canelo, he's got Bivol, he's got Benavidez, he's got all these other legitimate 168, 175 pound guys that he can fight, for my opinion, to really help his namesake. And you're gonna go fight a little smaller guy. And I'm not something against Bud. Bud is as a talent as they come. Really? But you're talking about a guy that probably walks around at 180, 190 pounds. Bud is not a huge, massive guy. Right. I don't know if y'all can tell us what the hydration clause is. I'm not sure if you got that worked out. Probably not, because Canelo is obviously the A side. But I just think there's better fights for both of them to be had. I'm glad that Bud is going to get this payday. It's very important. I hope he doesn't ride to the sunset after this one.
Bomac framed the fight not as a collision of size versus skill, but as a chess match of pure intellect. In his breakdown, the outcome rests on what he calls the finer details of boxing. Timing can blunt raw power, and speed can neutralize size. For him, Crawford's genius is his ability to adjust moment by moment, constantly shifting, constantly solving, like a puzzle opponents can never quite piece together. His famous line, "Skills pay the bills," isn't just a catchphrase, it's the philosophy guiding Crawford's entire career. And in Bomac's eyes, while Canelo may bring the weight of experience and power, Crawford's command of the sport's subtleties is exactly what gives him a real chance to rewrite the script.
We know where we need to be by the time we step in the ring. We got the doctors and the scientists and the nutritionists and everybody that's in camp that's going to do their part to get where we need to get.
How much more power does he have?
He got some thudding power up there, and we're just going to sustain it for 36 minutes.
Why do you believe you've got what it takes to come up 2 divisions?
Like I told the other guy, skills pays bills. You got to have skills, man, to be going up there to fight somebody like that, like a Canelo. And not only is his offense, he's got to have defense too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, styles makes fights. Bud got the better skills, and he got the better mind too.
Do you think with the styles in mind, but also the weight in mind, he can get that job done based on he's just so much more excelling in the skills?
You know what? He gonna get the job done. I promise you that. He'll get the job done. Because Bud boxing IQ is off the charts. You know what I'm saying? Next to Canelo, I'm not taking nothing away from him, but Bud just a little bit better.
I can tell you fully believe in your fighter and he believes in himself too. There was a slight back and forth at the press conference there. That was just a battle of belief. Who believes they're better? Obviously Terence believes he's better. Did you look into that? What happened at the press conference there as the first
That's
war
just
of words?
That's just press conference, man. The reason why I believe into my fighter is because from day one, the first day he walked in the gym to where we at now, we haven't lost yet. Okay. He got a loss. He got 2 losses.
How does that affect him coming into this fight?
One thing about this, always remember this. He got 2 losses, right? We got no losses. So we know what to do to get that win, right?
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.